So here we have the finals, the first game of the finals at the Manaleak tournament, brought to you at long last. Apologise for the delay. We have Taurian on the left, and we have Dave Hoyle and Dave H on the right. Again, Dave playing his MBN World is Yours deck, and it looks very much like Taurian's going for Andromeda. This is a very typical final in the Worcester meta, I suppose you could say, and one of the main reasons why Dave is such a proponent of the Plascrete Carapace, running 3 copies of it, is purely and simply because he knows this matchup's going to happen. They actually met initially, I think, round 1 of Swiss, which Dave wasn't. Both and Dave and Toy weren't particularly thrilled about. I think it ended a draw in that case. But here, obviously, there will be a result, one way or the other. So first click was green level clearance. Second click was installing protecting over HQ, and finally protecting R&D. Not a bad little start. And obviously, again, one of the correct ways of playing it, certainly. Again, sure gamble there for Taurian. Installing a Desperado, and then running on HQ. So great economy already. Dave is rezzing the ice. It's an Enigma, so he loses a click and ends the run. That's the end of his turn. Ideal early game ice there. Not bad for 3 credits. So we have been installing into remote. Having a look to see how much money he has, and taking 2. So back up to 6 credits, and something in the remote as well. Left undefended, so Taurian's going to have a look, and it's a Sansan, which he doesn't have the money to trash. Running R&D. Having a think about whether to res, doesn't res, access and score. What are the odds? Astroscript. And so he's going to do it over again. Again, obviously taking advantage of the Desperado credit as well. And access. Can't quite see what that one is there. Oh, it's Jackson Howard, which trashes for 3. Now the question is, does he run again? Yes, he does. At this point, I think Dave's getting a little bit sick and tired of the free accesses on R&D and reses an ice wall. Surprised he didn't do it initially, I must admit. But, such is life. Sometimes you just have to accept the fact that you probably should have done something sooner and just do it anyway, even if it hurts. But still, no great loss. 2 points. It's not the end of the world. So that's Beanstalk Royalties. First click. And second click. Going to seal up HQ. Possibly indicating quite a heavy agenda flood in hand. And obviously again, particularly protecting against Criminal and all those nasty blue cards that can cause immense trouble and strife. So perhaps envisaging an account siphon coming his way after perhaps Decoder going down. He's going to Dirty Laundry Archives for the 5 credits. And again, he's going to do it again and take his Desperado credit. So just looking for the money. Andromeda, obviously so powerful, but Taurian in a difficult position here of only having a Desperado out, possibly not seeing the key breakers that he needs, but certainly finding himself in a little bit of difficulty. Although he has scored the early agenda, he is very much looking for something to continue to push on in the mid-game now, and the ice is all weak, so as long as he gets the breaker he needs, he can get through and he can do it. So it looks like an Armitage code busting there. Haven't seen that one in a fair old while, but Taurian a fan, and he clicks to take money off it and passes the turn back over. As again, that's the good thing about Armitage, it's a very quick turnaround. Daily cast seems to have taken the meta by storm, but still there's some definite scope. So resing of the and then scoring the Astroscript out of hand. Oh, Not what you want to see scored. So that's two of the Astroscripts gone already, and obviously importantly one being scored there by Dave. And suddenly Taurian's in a real quandary here. He's got a res Sansan which he has to get in and trash. Um, Even if he does, there's still the scored Astroscript. It suddenly means that it is a challenge. There's no denying it. Discarding the plus crate, which is a surprise. And again, you've got to imagine here he's looking for the breakers, looking for a barrier breaker, perhaps to R&D lock, or a code gate going through HQ to perhaps to do a count siphon. Not really seeing what he needs. Drawing through his deck, discarding a significant proportion of it, just to go and find the key breakers. Even a Crypsis would do at this point, and he's got the other agenda there in hand, so that's another agenda scored. Only needed 2 credits to do it. So there's the Corona. And an indexing, so he's going to go through and see what he can find on the top 5. See if there's anything exciting to steal. Potentially it could be game already, but it's unlikely. He's only got 2 clicks left, so again he'd have to be running at least one 3-point agenda, which I don't think he is. But he will run once and score another Project Beal, so it's now 4 points all. So the game proceeding at quite a pace. Already 4 agendas scored / stolen in only 6 odd minutes of play, which is very, very quick, especially for a final. Dave taking money, and once again bringing a fast advance into play for the next 10. And again, the Corroda, he's got to run. He's surely got to see and have a look and see what is protecting that Sansan. That Sansan is causing him massive aggravation. It needs to be cleared off the board. You need to at least make him use his Astroscript token for once, and not on match point, obviously. You want him to get him to use it beforehand so that he has to score at least one agenda the traditional way. There's only 2 credits. Again, the chance of him being able to res the relevant ice is slim. He knows there's nothing on R&D now. Having indexed 5 cards, he knows there's nothing there to look at least not for a long while. I suspect that Dave's not particularly looking or worried about doing it. So okay, there's the inside job. Inside job, the remote, and trash the Sansan. So he bypasses the ice completely. And makes sure, I guess is the best way of putting it. It certainly was a necessity. There was no way that he could continue this game without getting rid of that Sansan on the board. Very difficult situation. But the game back on relatively level pegging. Dave's obviously not going to be in a hurry to draw through his deck, knowing full well that there are no agendas there. Unless if he has an agenda in hand, then it's a whole other story. But he will score and use the Astroscript token, so he's now on 6 points. So it's match point for Dave. If he has another agenda in hand, particularly if it's a breaking news, then that would be the match. Again, Taurian knows there's nothing on R&D to look at. He has to really, the only line of attack now is to attack his hand, go through to HQ, try and take the winning agenda, so to speak, if it is there, out of his hand. But without a code gate breaker, he's not getting through. He's going to go through into another indexing. So again, hoping beyond hope to ensure that there's no top deck agenda. And I guess he's running on the assumption that there couldn't possibly be an agenda in hand, having scored a huge number of them now. So he rearranges and runs again, scoring. That's the character assassination, so it's now 6 points, 6 points. And obviously with the way the scoring is set up, that's significant. No matter who wins now, it means that the next game doesn't lose any significance. It's still a big deal. 6 points all. So it makes the next match probably the more crucial one. Again, there's obviously wasn't another agenda in that, otherwise he would have won. Almost had the kill shot there. He takes 2 credits. 3 credits, I think, sorry. So again, he's got the money, he now has the money to to advance a card. He doesn't have an Astroscript token. He's looking for perhaps his 1-point agenda, his breaking news. Maybe he already has it. And this is a very difficult situation for Taurian. No doubt about it. Again, presumably he doesn't have the code gate breaker necessary, but Dave certainly does have the agenda necessary, winning the game 7-6. Close, but not quite close enough, and certainly leads to a nicely balanced game 2.